Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Football United TV. It's Thursday, so that means one thing. It's got to be Gunners from all corners. But now, let's play that famous intro. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's show. I tell you what, because when that intro was always on, me and you sort of like dancing in the background to that famous beat. We love it. We love it. Brilliant. It's the best one.
Only bad part of it is that people can't see how marvelous we look dancing to it. But yeah.
Oh, definitely. only if they could.
Yeah.
Anyway, Marty, how are you? You all right, mate?
I'm doing well. We're sorry we were late, by the way. We're like 10 minutes late. We apologize for that. But yeah, good to be back as always. And yeah, looking forward to chatting some more. So some good and bad to talk about, right?
Oh, definitely. There's some good and bad to talk about. Most of it, well, it's half and half at the minute, innit? So, we're on tonight's show. So, but then again, let's go to the good stuff first. Let's. Okay. Right. Now, when I say good stuff, this is good stuff. I changed the color. The banners is in bubbled. I don't know. I was just fart assing about before we went live, and I thought, yeah, that'd do. Keep it red and white. Arsenal colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun with your show, my man. It's yours to play with.
Right. Newcastle 5, Sheffield United 0. Do you know what? This was
Arsenal 5.
Oh, Arsenal 5, Sheffield United 0. Yeah, what did I say?
You said Newcastle.
Oh, did I?
Oh, yeah,
I'm miles ahead of myself. I'm sorry, folks. I'm miles ahead. It must be a funny. I've had a funny day today. But yeah, Arsenal 5, Sheffield United 0. Eddie Nketiah Hatrick. Do you know what? I didn't really think this was going to be a high score. I predicted 3-0 because of obviously with the injuries that we've sustained, obviously in the team with Jesus being out injured, obviously Eddie Nketiah stepping in. Do you know what? I know, and I said it on Sunday's show that we was on with me and Billy. I know I give Eddie a lot of stick, and I do admit that. I really do. In one way, I'm glad I do if he doesn't perform. But in this game, was I wrong? And I'll hold my hands up to it, and I'll say I was wrong. He scored a hat-trick. It's a good hat-trick. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, goals followed by Fabio Vieira and Tomiyasu. I thought we were good. There wasn't a mistake within that game at all. Whether it was in goal, and obviously, I've been criticising Ray of late as well. We all know that. I've been really criticising him and down on him. He played well. In all fairness, didn't really have a lot to do.
Yeah, like the whole conversation, like Ray or Ramsdale, it could have been us in goal in that game, right? Like it all had to do with distribution, really, and he has good distribution. It's good that he wasn't as, I don't know, weird with the ball as he has been, because he's been kind of unsure. And but yeah, he didn't have to do any goalkeeping, really.
No, he didn't. No, didn't really have a lot to do. And I was happy with that. The defense, the performance in the defense was next to none. It was great. We were good in defense, good in midfield, and also good in attack with Eddie Nketiah. I do apologise. I'm going to give credit where credit is due now. If you want to clip it. I don't care less. Eddie was fantastic in this game. I am going to give credit where credit is due. I do you know what I just really can't say I'm stumped for words. I'm stung for words. I can't really say anything apart from it was a brilliant game, a brilliant solid performance all around the pitch. Goals from Tomiyasu, Fabio Vieira, an Hatrick from Eddie. I keep repeating myself, I know, but you know what? Because I'm going to let you have the floor. The floor is all yours in this game. What's your motives about this game, mate?
Yeah. I mean, we're in like 15, 20 minutes or so, we're about to get really negative, so we might as well get really positive now
Yeah,
because that was indeed a great performance. It was Sheffield United, yes. And we stood no chance of losing that game, truly. But a lot of good teams have been struggling to score like a good amount of goals in them. Like I'm pretty sure Man City and Spurs like won like close to the end, and it was only like one goal difference as well. So
yeah.
being able to break into that park the bus system that Sheffield
I think
United
you could put
has,
Man
like
United in that equation as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, United is huge, biggest club in the country, but they haven't been performing as such in this season. So not even gonna be bringing up them because they've been struggling to get results left and right. So, but the teams that are doing well, like City and Spurs, which right now are the team competing with us, right? I don't think
yeah.
Spurs are gonna stay in this race, but these are the two teams competing right now with us, and they struggled against Sheffield, and we murdered them. Great performance all around, and yeah, didn't really put a foot wrong. I mean, the defense is solid, right? Like that partnership, like we feel good with that partnership. It's a young partnership, so they might make mistakes every now and then, but we don't feel like unsafe when we have Gabriel Magalhães and William Saliba like
Hmm.
in the back. Like we feel okay with that. And usually defensively speaking, when you have Zinchenko come out for Tomiyasu, then we're like, yeah, it's very unlikely that someone's going to score against us when we have Ben White, Tomiyasu, Gabriel Magalhães, and William Saliba. It's very, very solid, which is good because our goalkeepers haven't been doing well whatsoever this season. And Rice, impeccable as always. Everyone was good, but then like Nketiah got a hat trick and a really good hat trick, like one of those hat tricks, right? Like it was, you know, like the second goal was a rebound, right? Like one of those ugly goals that you just have to be there with the killer instinct to get. The first one needed a really good technique to just control the ball, then finish easily, and the third goal was like a thing of beauty. And mate, Eddie Nketiah is one of those things. Like he's an Arsenal striker. He's also wearing the number 14. If you put too much weight into that, you're always going to think he's crap. Like we've had the best player in the history of Arsenal. The reason why I support Arsenal, Thierry Henry, he's the guy that made that jersey, like made that number so important for us. Theo Walcott might have sucked towards the end, but he was actually like very good for a while for what we were achieving back then, right? And Aubameyang, who was a killer as well before he sucked.
Yeah.
So, Nketiah is not at that level. He's not. But if you look at him for what he is, which is a rotation striker, a bench striker, someone that's going to be playing when Gabriel Jesus is not fit, mate, very few clubs have someone like him sitting on the bench. He's a good goal scorer. Like you look at his numbers, like you pull up not amount of games because he comes off the bench a lot and he's not as I don't necessarily like him as someone coming off the bench. I think he's done much better starting the games than coming in the second half. Unlike Trossard, who's like the other way around. But in Ketia's numbers, when you average out 90s, like I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm totally guessing here, and I don't think I'm going to be far off. I'm pretty sure he scores like every 2 games or so. Like every 290 minutes, every 180 minutes or so. He's not bad. Like a lot of teams struggle to have one striker with his scoring capabilities. Two, like one or two clubs are going to have that. So, it's always great to try to upgrade on stuff. And I'm not a fan of Eddie Nketiah. Like, I'm not. I just because I don't think he's bad, because like I do feel like he's good enough to be a second number 9 for us. I would love to improve on him. I'd rather get someone taller, like a prolific goal scorer to compete with Gabriel Jesus. But looking at our entire squad, like I'm not desperate when he plays. Like he usually scores. He's a good striker. Not great, not great. Good.
No, no. The trouble is,
And
though,
he had his best game in an Arsenal kit for sure.
yeah, yeah. I have looked at Eddie Nketiah's record,
Okay, go
compared
ahead.
from games to goals.
Yeah.
It's and this is going back some obviously last season as well. So obviously from prior from that a little bit from last season to this season. In
Mm-hmm.
total, it's let's say it's 30 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bear that in mind. But he scored 5 goals this season, so it's 5 goals in 30 games. So so we
He
got
didn't score any goals last season.
he scored goals last season. But I'm on. You think of it going back prior from the last 20 games of last season to the first 10. We've played like 10 games this season, haven't we? 10,
Yeah.
11 games.
Yeah.
So within 20 games last season he's played, he hasn't scored in. He's only scored 5 goals, which means 5 goals this season in the 10 games. I know when you look at it that way, but from when he last scored prior, it works out all in total. It's 30 games with 5 goals.
Okay. Well, I can't twist that to look good. But
No.
the thing is, you gotta look at the fact that I'm assuming a lot of those games he played a couple of minutes in, right? Like
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus is our starter, so I
Yeah.
know he played a lot of games towards the end of last season. And when he initially came in for Gabriel Jesus, he actually did well. But then he was also playing a lot of games towards the end of the season, which is our worst spell, right? Recently, the end of last season, we weren't doing well. So I've been taking that into account. Like I feel like if you take the amount of minutes he played, it's not going to look as horrible as what you just said, but it's gonna be worse than what I said though. It's not
Yeah.
he's not going to be averaging a goal every 180,
No.
but that's the like when he comes usually like he's not someone that's able to raise our level. Like this is one of the first games. Like he's had 2 or 3, but this is one of the first games where Eddie Nketiah was able to raise Arsenal's level. But he's someone that's usually capable of maintaining the level,
Yeah. I
right?
mean, you're
So if
totally right.
Arsenal's playing well, he's
Yeah.
usually going to be okay.
I mean, you're too. I agree with some of what you said. I do agree with some of what you said.
Yeah.
I knew that might come as a shock, Marty, but but it's Eddie Nketiah. I mean, don't get me wrong. This one, he had a fantastic game. I give credit where credit is due. I can't go wrong with Eddie, with him scoring at Hatrick. It's like what I said. Let's not go too big because it is against Sheffield United. I believe it's there. I think they're the only team. Have they? I don't think they've won a game yet. Have they won a
No,
game?
no, I don't think they have.
No,
I don't
they
think
haven't.
they have.
No, I knew them in Bournemouth didn't, but I think Bournemouth won. I think they may have won Bournemouth on the weekend. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me. I definitely know Sheffield United hasn't won a game this season in the Premier League. Somebody most probably correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm just
I'm with
saying.
you there. I'm with you there. It's just that we have to make sure we don't exaggerate on either sides because yeah, it's Eddie Nketiah, but he's our sub. He's our sub, and you got to look at him as our sub. So he doesn't need to have this kind of performance every single game. Like he's not gonna play enough to have this kind of performance every single game.
I know.
That's like and you look at him. I know once in a day, like we had amazing strikers as backups because like we had the Invincibles at one point. Like we had amazing teams. But you look at the world now, how football is happening right now, with the fact that like the striker position is also changing a lot. So like it's becoming harder and harder to be good in that position. Like you look at most teams, you have some rare teams that you have two good strikers. Like some people might think that having Isaac and Wilson is better than having Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah. Maybe that's also two good strikers that Newcastle has that we're facing very soon. But Eddie Alvarez is usually starting alongside Haaland. So who's the backup striker if Haaland's hurt then? Who's the backup striker at Chelsea? Who's the backup striker at United? Because their starting striker doesn't score as many goals as Nketiah right now.
Yeah.
Who's the backup striker for Liverpool? Real Madrid's playing Bellingham as a fake nine. I know he's the best fake nine in the history of the game right now in numbers, but he's not a striker and he's going to play that way. Most teams don't have someone of high caliber as a backup.
No,
So if
no.
we understand that he's a backup, we're not going to start idolizing Eddie Nketiah because he's not someone that needs to be idolized. But he's an academy player that like tries very hard. He's a battler, right? Like he's a fighter, and he's okay for what he's doing for the job he has.
Yeah.
You can improve on. You can definitely improve on, but he doesn't suck, and he
No.
definitely doesn't deserve abuse.
Okay. But on this one, let's just stick with Eddie. So, in your opinion, Mark, I know you sort of like I know you're not the greatest fan, but what you're saying, he's at Arsenal, he's playing at the minute, and he's just doing a job there. That's obviously what you're saying. But in your
What I'm
way,
saying is he's second choice at Arsenal, right?
yeah,
Because
but he's
if he was our main striker, I'd be just like you.
yeah, but
I'd be
he's
complaining.
just there and he's just doing a job.
Yeah,
That's what he's doing. That technically,
yeah.
he's just there. He's just doing a job.
Hmm.
In your way, in your opinion, if we
Hmm.
were, let's say, for a figure of speech, if we were to sell him in January in this transfer window, how much do you reckon? Well, how much do you reckon we'd get for him compared to how much you think he's worth? So, do you know what I'm saying? If you jump it up a bit, how much do you
Yeah.
think he's worth, and how much do you think we'll get for him?
Okay. I think he's worth a lot more than we'd get for him, for sure. I haven't put too much thought, but I know that we usually sell players for a lot less than what they're worth. And I do blame the Edu and the board and like the ownership, whatever. I blame them a little bit, but
Yeah,
there's also this culture against Arsenal that we have to realize exists. Like people are just not gonna pay enough at Arsenal. Like there's this something, like there's this belittling of Arsenal that happens around. Like we gotta be able to change that at some point, like become the big dogs, and people realize that we
yeah,
haven't yet. But anyway, I think Nketiah is worth, like, in today's market with the crazy things that have been happening. I don't think I think there are clubs that if Nketiah was there, he'd be sold for 50, and that wouldn't be crazy. That wouldn't be crazy.
no,
I think he's worth about 40, and I think Arsenal could get around 30 or 35 for him.
right, okay, yeah. I was going to say round about because you think of it, we sold Balogun, didn't we? We sold him for 35 million. And when obviously when he was on loan playing in the French league, he
Yeah.
scored 20 odd goals. We end up selling him for 35. So I think they're around about for Eddie Nketiah. If we can get 35, or even listen, even if somebody offered 30 million, I would take it because personally, my opinion of Eddie Nketiah, I still think he's championship material. I
That
really do. I
that is absolutely nuts. That is nuts. It's nuts to say that. Look at what he just did. How many players in the championship do that?
Well, I just is my opinion, and I just feel that he is a championship player. I think.
Def-
Don't get me wrong.
defend your opinion.
I wanted
Why?
Arsenal. I want Arsenal to go in. Basically to compete with Man City. We got to be trying to get players like Jesus should be coming on the bench, coming off the bench and playing. We should be having a main striker. I'm one of those. As a striker, I like to see goals in a striker. I
No,
like to
I
see 20
cuz
goals.
cuz I'm okay with that. Like I'd love to sell Nketiah and get a prolific goal scorer. I'm not going to argue with you there. I think there's only a few strikers that would actually put Gabriel Jesus on the bench. That's a different conversation, but I agree with you. I would love to upgrade on Nketiah, but that's not the conversation I'm trying to have. Why
No.
is he a championship striker? Why? Because
Well,
those are two different things.
I don't know if you remember. He went on loan to Leeds
Yeah.
United when he was in the Championship,
Yeah, like 4
and
years ago. But yeah,
He struggled to get in that team.
like four
Seriously,
years ago. He
I
was a
know, I
kid.
know it was. I know it was. But then, I mean, you look at that. You look at it now, right? An average player from the Championship, you can buy. I think the dearest player from the Championship at the minute is round about. I think it's about saying 30 mil, something like that, right? From the
Hmm.
Championship. So when a player if you sign a player from the Championship for 30 million, if that player can also, if he can score you 15 goals a season, you know, depending on what team and what at the way you're playing in that. That's brilliant. That's fantastic, right? But we don't have that amount of goals in Eddie Nketiah this season. We just don't. I
But
understand he's up there. You've got to play him. He's
cause
doing the job. It's like
the teams,
Weghorst for Man United last season. He didn't score goals hardly. He was just up there floating around in the box doing a job.
but you're
That's what Eddie Nketiah. In all fairness, that's what he does.
because
This thing,
it's unfair. It's unfair to pull up and to pull up the numbers of like saying that strikers in the championship are scoring 15 goals because they're starting their games. They're starting strikers for their teams. And in the championship, you also you play more games. Isn't the competition bigger as well? But they're starting for their teams. He's a backup. Like he's our fifth most important attacker. So he's not getting enough minutes to be scoring 15 goals. How many players off the bench score more than 10 goals? They exist, but it's not a lot of them. And that's it. Like people need to learn. It's not about sitting on the fence. Nketiah doesn't need to be either a top striker or a championship striker. He's a good Premier League striker. We can definitely improve on him. If we sold Nketiah and we got like a striker that's 190, that's centimeters, by the way. I do not speak in feet, but like 6'3", 6'4", tall
yeah.
striker. And that scores a lot of goals. That averages like, I don't know, close to 20 goals a season. Sure, I'm all for that. I'd love that. That offers us something different. I'm okay, sure. But that doesn't mean that Nketiah is horrible. And people need to learn that. Like
Well, no. I will say that Eddie Nketiah is not the worst player. Eddie Nketiah is that fact.
yeah.
With me, you know who my worst player is. Kai Havertz. He's my worst
Okay, yeah,
player.
no, this
He's
season that's
he's
dude,
6'4". You think
yeah.
he might be able to do something? You might think a player like him being 6'4", a player like that, you would think he'd be like a beast in the box. You know, crosses comes in, he can get on the end of it. You know, a poacher in the box as well. You know, someone that's not going to score prolific goals, but someone that in the box that can get like the odd tap ins here and there and score goals with his head. That is the sort of that was what we were most probably thinking about Kai Havertz. It hasn't happened. Personally, I feel the Premier League is too hard for him. That's my opinion of him. I mean, Frank Lampard signed him when he was the Chelsea manager, first Chelsea manager when he was there first of all, not second, first of all, and that's how long he's played in the Premier League. I think it's like 4 seasons now, and 4 seasons, absolute nothing. So
Um,
that's
I
gone.
I don't I don't have a way to defend Havertz anymore. Like I don't have arguments. My arguments are based on speculation. I think absolutely when you're talking about his time at Chelsea, I feel like saying absolutely nothing is it's unfair. He
Yeah,
wasn't he wasn't what people expected him to be, but then again, like he was better than most players. He was still rightfully starting at a poor team, sure, but he was consistently the guy scoring the most goals as well. Like it's not like he was absolute garbage. Right now, he is absolute garbage. Like
garbage.
the like I watch him and I'm like, I these mistakes look like that looks like championship or even lower football. It truly
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
I don't know what's going on there. Um, sure, like I never understood why he was here. Like it was I said this openly on the channel as well. Like it was sort of blind faith on Arteta. Like he might see something that I don't see because I don't have the tools to see that. But like I know that Havertz is better than this though. Like right now, he's like he can't control possession like some passes that he misses. Like he's one of the players where like it's so clear that he has no confidence whatsoever right now. Like I don't like he needs therapy. Like, and this is not me making fun of him. Like he needs to seek counsel because he is not there. He's mentally somewhere, mate, because his football is gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Gone. Like he's never been great at Chelsea. He was very good at Leverkusen, but right now he doesn't look like a footballer.
No,
For a
he
good
doesn't.
for a good couple of games, he was averaging like five and a half, 6 out of 10 performances. Which in the Premier League, you're like, okay. Now, like it's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's been dreadful. It's scary. So
It is
I don't
scary.
know.
Yeah.
I
What we're
don't
going
know
to
much
do.
about him. Like
No, I totally agree with you. We're going to come to Kai Havertz in a minute on the next thing.
yeah,
You can most probably guess what it is. I'm just going to go on to the comments. We've only got a few. It's not very many, but
right.
we've got to give them a call out, don't we? AFC always. Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in, mate. It says like, enter, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Yeah, big up. Yeah, make sure you do like, subscribe, share if you can. Also, click that notification bell. So when we go live again,
Yes.
it automatically comes up, and you could just log it. Just press the button and come in, sort of thing. Jordy's in. Away, lads. Yeah, big up, Jordy. Welcome, mate. King TV saying big up King TV, and then Jordan says really excited for our game against Arsenal. Well, this game week, we are as well. I know. Is it? I think we're away, aren't we?
Yeah, I think
We
it's
are
at
away. I think we're
Newcastle.
away.
Yeah.
So we just part. Jesus Christ! That, do you know what? That's not a walk in the park. That's bloody. That's gonna be a hard game. Definitely a hard game. And then Matt says
second hardest game of the season, if you look at it. Premier League season, second hardest game. Well, third hardest game. Hardest game is away at City. Second hardest is home at City. Then away at Newcastle.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe away at Anfield as well. Okay, one of those two, but
definitely.
Away at Newcastle, tough game, very tough game.
Very tough game, yeah. And Matt's in saying, welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Yeah, you're right, Matt. Yeah. Well, thank you for everybody tuning in, basically. Let's go on to our next topic, because I've had enough talking about Eddie Hatrick. Right. Carabao Cup in the week last night. West Ham 3, Arsenal 1. I had to keep it clean. I had to put rubbish performance. It was. I could have thought of any word and put it in, but I thought no, I better not. I just rather just put a rubbish performance. This team was absolutely shocking. Not one of our players turned up in this game. This is where I'm gonna have my say on this one. People were sleeping. Obviously, at the minute is either Ramsdale or Rhea. I felt for one of those goals that West Ham scored, I thought Ramsdale was fouled. Personally,
the first one,
Ramsdale was fouled. He was.
The first one, he was. Yeah.
That goal shouldn't have even been allowed, in my opinion. Right. Ben White, mate, what was going on? You scored an own goal. I don't know. All right, blips do happen. Yeah. But I'm just gonna say, I felt. I'm not being funny. All the 11 was poor. All 11 players. Havertz. Where the fuck? I'm trying to find. Oh, he's over on the other side of the room. I'm just trying to find a bin. Like a waste paper basket. Just grab Havertz and just shove him in my bin. See, look, just stay there. You ain't no good, mate. Just stay in there. You're not coming out. Just stay.
Big ass bin.
Yeah, he's not a bin. He's out the back. He's a skip, a builder skip. So that's that. Well, we talk on the last game. Eddie Nketiah, Hatrick, absolutely brilliant against Sheffield United. Played in this game from the start. Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be
he,
seen.
he played, but he didn't play. Yeah.
Yes, nowhere to be seen. I thought this was absolutely dire. I'm not having it. And the team. I mean, come on, the starting lineup as well, especially in that midfield. Jorginho, come on, that alone, that sees it all. Do you know what? I thought I thought he may have been a good buy for 12 million, but I haven't seen nothing from him lately. I haven't. All I see is a poor DM of late. It's just like with this team now. Excuse me. With this team now, it's just like I've just given up. After last night's performance, I've given up. I know it's it's 10 games gone this season in the league, and we're at the Carabao Cup, but there's Arsenal fans saying that this was one of the if there was a trophy we could have won, one of them would have been this one, the Carabao Cup, along with the FA Cup, with a decent run in the Champions League. I don't know. Everybody's saying maybe top 4 this season. But I mean, we finished second last season. You know, we could have won the Premier League last season. But this is why we got so excited and hyped up we didn't win it. This is why some of the Arsenal fans, and I put myself in that category, some of the Arsenal fans wants the Premier League this season. I wanted the Premier League and FA Cup this season. I don't know if that's going to happen, according to this on this game. This performance was just shit. Marley, just take over. Just give me your opinions on the game and what players. I mean, obviously the whole team was rubbish, but what players stuck out for you that was absolutely poor in this game?
Yeah. Okay, I agree with most of what you said. So I'm gonna try to pick the points where I kind of disagree, just so that we don't repeat ourselves. But yeah, that was dreadful. That was absolutely dreadful. Well, the worst performance was Havertz. Like that was as that was as close to a 0 out of 10 performance that I can tell you. Like that was like everything that he touched turned to crap. It was like the opposite of Rumpelstiltskin. Like it was just no, sorry, King Midas. Like what was the guy, the king that touched thing and it turned to gold? Well, one of the two. Anyway, that's another conversation. Like he touched the ball and it turned into a crap play. Like he just killed. Like he was the play killer.
It turned into a
But
turd.
but the entire well, first of all, Jorginho, he's another one that I feel like if you compare him to the top years that he was having at Chelsea, that was like very outside of the curve. Like Jorginho was never that good. Like he had 3 really good seasons at Chelsea that was like outside of his actual like curve. But
Yeah,
he's a good DM. Like I see him as a much better alternative than El Neni, but I know that he's not someone that's well much better than El Neni, right? Like he's gonna pass sideways better. He's gonna pass like sideways a little less often than El Neni. Like he's gonna be a little more like advancing play a little more, and he's got really good control. Like it's tough to dispossess Jorginho. It does happen, but he's got good ball control. So I don't feel like he's awful, but he was bad in this game. Like most of the team was absolute crap. I agree that the first goal was a definite foul. Like with VAR, that would have been well, that should have been disallowed. I do like on the Ramsdale thing. He I think it was the third goal. Like I feel like that was an easy save. So you can tell that like we're unless one of the two like one of the two steps up, like it's not looking good goalkeeper wise for us this season. So Matty might end up proving himself right there, because like Ramsdale's worse than last season. Ray is not playing well right now, so it's confusing. Let's see.
there we go.
But okay, I should say the first half wasn't good, but it wasn't dreadful. The second half was like like it wasn't exciting the first half. But I feel like, if I'm being honest, Arsenal played better than West Ham on the first half. There was that goal that, like, in my opinion, shouldn't have been a goal, but I'm not like it was 3-1, like virtually 3-0, really, because we scored when it was like 98th minute, like no one cared anymore. So 3-0 really, and it was an easy victory. But on that first half, Arsenal was playing slightly better. Actually, we created a couple of chances, and it's crazy because you look at the overall numbers. Arsenal had like 72 possession. We had like 12 to 5 shots. Like it was 3 on target on both sides, and they scored like 3 goals. So with two of them being shots on target, the other one being an own goal, of course. West Ham was actually lucky in every single one of their goals, but we were so poor. Like that was another one of those games that looked like that first half against Chelsea, that entire game against Lens, but mainly the second half. Like it's becoming a little more frequent than I like to see for sure. Because yeah, we're gonna drop every now and then. We're not gonna play every game like we played against Sheffield, and it was a very
I
reserved
mean,
team. Like
I'm just
like
gonna, yeah. I'm just gonna bring up what I'm gonna do, Marley. I'm just gonna bring up some stats. I'm not really a stat man, but I'm just gonna bring up some stats within this
Go
game,
ahead. Go ahead.
and I've got them here. West Ham won this game 3-1. Has been known. West Ham, they have 5 shots on goal, score 3 goals, 3 shots on target.
Yeah.
That to me, why they sit that asks me why the bloody hell are they so down in the Premier League? I don't get that, because they were absolutely fantastic against us. Right, we had 14 shots, 3 shots on target. Odegaard's goal at the end. You were right with the possession. We had 72%. West Ham had 28. Right,
Mhm.
passes. West Ham had 265 passes. We had 678 passes in that game.
Yeah, mate.
The accuracy in our passes was 89%. West Ham's was less, with 76, right? 12 fouls each. West Ham 1 offside, right? They had 4 corners. We had 6. I tell you what, that, my friend, is absolutely poor. And if I was Mikel Arteta, I'd be shamed, because I got to be honest with you. Ramsdale in goal, crap. I give him a 2, right? Ben White, give him a 2.
Scored no one goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Kiwar, 2. Gabriel.
He was slightly. He was Kivior was slightly less
No,
crap
I'm not having
than
it. I'm
Ben
not
White
having
or
it.
Ramsdale.
That defense, our defense, was good enough
I'm
to beat
I'm
that.
not I'm not saying he was good, cuz I'm saying if the other ones were 2, he was probably a 3 or something. Like he was still bad, but he was better than
West
White
Ham,
and Ramsdale.
their formation they played one up front. That was Bowen.
Yeah.
They played a lone striker up front, Bowen. Right?
Yeah.
Gabriel, sorry, but I got to give him a 2. And I like him. I like him. He's one of my favorite defenders. You
Yeah.
know that,
Mhm.
right? Sichenko, fuck me, I'm going to give him a 1. Ready? Fabio Vieira, right? 2. Jorginho, I'm giving him a 1. Havertz, I got to rate him less than a 0. So I'm going to say dog shit, right? Nelson, I think, to be honest with you, he was the only one that most probably had tried in that game. Reece Nelson, you know, he was trying to. He had the ball. He was running in the box with the ball and making the passes. We couldn't get on the end of it. From what I seen, it wasn't very many, but from what I seen, so I'm going to have to give him a 3.
Man of the match performance.
Yeah, for Arsenal. Yeah, Eddie Nketiah, I'm going to have to give him a 2.
Okay.
Trossard. Well, if I can give half, I'll give him a 1.5. We were absolutely shit and dire. I don't even know what Arteta was thinking. Seriously, I don't know what he was thinking in that. But you look at that lineup, you think that would be a good lineup to beat West Ham. You look at it on paper, compare, right? Another key fact as well. Let just work this one out. The players, what West Ham cost, what they've paid for them, it's not really a lot, is it? The West Ham don't go out and spend like big money on players. They never have.
Yeah.
Just add up the price of Havertz and Fabio Vieira. 65 and 35. That's 100 million right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 100 million, right? Zinchenko, how much did he cost us? 35? Yeah, there you go. That's 135. All right. Gabriel, I think, how much was Gabriel? 20, was he 25?
Around that, yeah.
Round about that, yeah. All right. Kiwar, what was he? 20 million?
I think it was like 15. Yeah, our team is more expensive.
Yeah,
If that's the
more
argument you're
expensive.
trying to make, yeah.
Ramsdale, 35, and then finishing off with Ben White, 50 million. I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to slate Ben White like mad, but the only reason why I slate him because Ben White it was never a centre back, and I was proved right. He was playing better at right back than centre back. I was proved right with that one, right? So this is what I'm trying to say, and then you add all that up from what West Ham players are, is actually pretty poor. Is pathetic. So Arteta, shame on you. Right. Now through that, go on. You're going to add something now. What are you going to say?
No, I mean, mate, the fact that I'm very much so Arteta in doesn't mean I'm not gonna point out when I feel like he was wrong. It should be said that I do feel like most people wouldn't have cared too much if we won the Carabao Cup. So I don't think we should care too much if we're out of the Carabao Cup. Like Man City's out of the Carabao Cup too. Like it's a competition that most
Yeah.
big clubs rest players on. Newcastle rested players against United as well.
Right.
So and United rested a couple of players against Newcastle.
Right.
West
Okay.
Ham is one. West Ham is one of those clubs that sure they just won a good trophy for their size, but this is a competition they mean business on. And yeah, their starting team, even though it's probably less expensive than ours, is their starting team. Like out of our starting lineup, out of the lineup we had, it was only like four, maybe five, but I think it was four or three starters there. So, like it's made bad performance. Yes. If Arteta wanted to win the game, and I'm sure he did, even
Yeah.
with the team that played, yeah, he definitely should have done better. That was a really poor performance. Really poor. Really poor. Not sure he should be ashamed. But yeah, it's definitely a bad performance. Arsenal needs to learn from that. I'm very relieved to know that the lineup that we're going to be seeing against Newcastle is going to be very different from this one, but still,
Well, we
and I
hope so.
don't. I would have given a couple of twos, and I would have given Havertz a zero, but I don't think I would have gone as harsh as you with the player ratings. But I don't feel like rating 11 people now. They played a really bad game, like really 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 bad game,
Yeah.
and we got to do better. I'm glad it was in the one competition that literally no one cares about. So like I'm not too furious about it. The one like the biggest negative for me, in addition to the bad performance, of course, is Ramsdale, because this was a competition where like we knew that there'd be rotation in the goalkeeper position in that competition, maybe in the FA Cup in a couple of stages. But now that we're out of the Carabao Cup, like I don't know how many games the goalkeeper that's not starting is actually going to be playing. So
Right. Gee,
that's a little
Mario, I'm going
worrying.
to put you on the spot now. But I'm
Put
going
me
to
on the spot. Go ahead.
I'm really going to put you on the spot now because
Put me on the spot.
you're an Arsenal fan from one Arsenal fan to another.
Go ahead.
You're saying going out of the Carabao Cup maybe it's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
I just repeat what you
Yeah.
said. Now, okay, fine. Okay, let's say I agree with you. I'll take your word for it, right? Okay, right. Can you promise me? What can you promise me now? Being out of that cup, you can most probably promise me. Let's say a decent run in the Champions League. You most probably agree with that, like round of 16, maybe quarterfinals. That'd be fair enough, wouldn't it? Right? Yeah. Decent run. Now we're out of that. Could you?
No. I mean, round of 16 is not a decent run for me. But I mean, we could end up facing a Real Madrid and be out. But if Arsenal doesn't reach the quarterfinals, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. But okay,
that's fair enough. You know what? I agree with you on that. Now, being out the Carabao Cup, could you promise me an FA Cup win?
Like, no, of course I can't.
No.
There's other good clubs in it.
Could you promise me a Premier League win?
No, no, I think we stand a good chance of winning it, but
No, but
because
no. But what I'm
I
saying
did.
is, what I'm trying to say is, you said we was going out that cup won't be too bad. So there's other free cup competitions that's left for us to win, and you couldn't promise me one out of those three. So it
Mhm.
makes me think: is there any point in Arsenal going for the FA Cup, having a decent run in the Champions League, and also you said not to win the Premier League? So it makes me think: should we even compete for a
Because
top four?
it's just that the Carabao Cup is one of those. It's one of those competitions where like finishing higher in the Prem and like not winning it, but finishing higher in the
Yeah,
Prem is more important than winning the Carabao Cup.
yeah.
Like the Carabao Cup, it's a competition that's like it's not made for that. Like it's made to make money, just like every other competition. But like we see it as a competition where like if you're a big team, it's usually like somewhat of a near friendly competition. Like you rotate the squad, everyone does it. It's
So,
it's it's a competition that the smaller sides are going to take seriously. If Spurs and their like I don't know 82 years drought by winning the Carabao Cup, I'm sure no respectable Arsenal fan will be like, yes, you guys have finally won a proper trophy. No, because the Carabao Cup is one of those like it's the second cup. It's
yeah, they actually
it's caca.
they won
If we
that.
won, I'd be like, yeah, sure, cool. But I wouldn't
Yeah,
scream because we won the Carabao Cup.
I
So
think they won that cup against. I think they played Chelsea in the final, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that was going back. I think it was something like 2009 season. They had Chelsea in the final, and that was the last time they won it. Uh, Tottenham.
I I'm gonna put it in a very simple way for you. Like if you have two alternatives, one of them being we win the Carabao Cup, then we finish the Premier League in fourth. We
Yeah.
finish we I I don't know, like we go okay on the FA Cup, but not too far, and we get killed in the round of 16 in the Champions League. And on the other one, you go to the quarterfinals of Champions League, you go to the semifinals of the FA Cup, you finish the Premier League in second,
Mm.
and you're out of the Carabao Cup. That's a much better season. Sure, you didn't win a title, but you were competitive on the competitions that matter.
But you
It's
didn't win a
that's good.
trophy. I mean, you look at it. Arsenal finished second last season.
If you want to think about it that way, we already won a trophy.
Man United, they finished third last season and they won the Carabao Cup, but they got to the FA Cup final, didn't they? So technically, Man United had a better season last season than Arsenal because they won a trophy. It's
Okay,
silverware.
you're saying that, but no one that doesn't support Arsenal or United thinks that way. Everyone knows that Arsenal had a better season than United. Everyone does. Yeah, everyone does. I mean, everyone does. It's clear. Arsenal was the third best team in the world last season.
Okay. All right.
It
I'm
was.
just gonna quickly go to the comments, because I
Go
think some
ahead.
of them are flying in. That's all. I mean, actually, I'm enjoying this show. We're not having a good like a major falling out, but we're just chitty chatty. Okay, we have agreed on a few things, disagree
Night's
on
not
another
over
thing.
yet.
No, it's not. It's not. No, you're going down. Right, King TV says championship material. I've got that. I think he was on about Eddie Nketiah when I was on about him when I said he's championship material.
Yeah, he's agreeing with me. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
agreeing
agreeing
with
with
me.
you. He's agreeing with you. He's agreeing with you. Well, tough titty because he is championship material,
Kane's
right?
word is literally law, so just wanted to throw it out there.
Nah, King said that. Look, it's his opinion. He's entitled to it, as well as Maury, as well as me, and as well as anybody else that comes on the show. Well, FC always says Arteta 700 million spent, nil trophies, nil in major trophies. Enough is enough. Thank you. He agrees with me, right?
I'll get you. Finish reading the comments. I have something I want to pull up. But yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Havertz and Vieira costs 100 million. Shocking. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Then AFC always goes on to say there was an Arsenal before Arteta. and there will always be an Arsenal after Arteta. People think he can't and shouldn't be fired. Seriously, I know. I think if Arteta doesn't win a trophy this season, he should be sacked. That's my opinion, and I go 100% on that. Right. AFC, I don't know what Marty thinks, but I'm only talking about that. But let Marty speak when I've done these, and it'd be interesting. If Arteta doesn't win the FA Cup, I want him sacked because we ain't winning the league or the Champions League. Yeah, I could see facts in that as well. Arteta has been 16 competitions. He has been 16 competitions. He has for the long he's been there and for the amount that he's done there. Apparently, well, there's a poll. There's a poll so far. It says Newcastle versus Arsenal. Who wins? 75% says Newcastle and 25% says Arsenal. Right now, me and Marty, we're not going to go on that. We're going on this bloody poll. We're logging onto it now. We're logging onto it now, aren't we? Because are you gonna vote on this poll?
Sure.
Yeah, you're gonna vote on this poll. I'm not having it. I voted Newcastle. No, I haven't. No, I haven't at all. You reckon most probably reckon I have, but I honestly haven't. No, I haven't. So that's that one so far. AFC, he goes on and says Havertz, Vieira, Nketiah, Jorginho, Elneny, Cedric. The list goes on. All need to be sold. Not good enough. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you on that one.
I disagree on a couple of players.
No, I totally agree on it because I totally agree. I totally agree. There's one player that I would love Arsenal to sign in January, and that's the Portuguese player. That's Neto from Wolves.
I'd love that too.
Pablo Neto, seriously, I would love that. Reports are in that is saying that it could possibly happen. I believe in the region of round about, I think it's 50 million. They're saying.
In today's market, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Good player, rate him. But he'd be a good replacement for Saka because he could play both sided as well, can't he?
Mm-hmm.
But King TV says, guys, Declan Rice got booed by a fair amount of Hammers fans. What do you make of that reception? He was a trouble for. No, he was booed.
No, he was, but I liked it. I liked the reception that he got because I feel like when he started warming up, the entire stadium was applauding him. Then when he touches the ball, yeah, you gotta boo him. He's playing against you. I feel like that's showing your respect.
Yeah, but do you know the West Ham fans actually shouted out to him, said, "Rice, you should have moved to a better club than Arsenal." That's what they were chanting as well. I know all fans are like that, like they like to have a laugh and a joke, but
it's the first time that David Moyes beat Arteta. Let them have their fun. They were winning the game. They were gonna shout a couple of things like he went to one of the two best teams in the country, and he's gonna be proven right. Like I'm not too worried about that.
And then Matt goes on to say, Murray, the golden ticket are officially booked.
If that means what I think it means, I'm very happy, man.
He's coming to see you, is he? He's coming
to see me. Yes.
Is that New Year? Is that for New Year?
Yes. We plan on kissing at midnight, and it's. I'm very. She doesn't know about it. It's gonna be hidden, but I'm so excited, man. Like it's like I've been on this YouTube adventure, and Maddie and Cuz, Maddie and Anthony, some others as well, but these two are they're some of my best friends. Like I love these guys. So the fact that Maddie's coming here, like I'm so excited. I'm gonna be able to give my friend a hug. Like it's dope. I'm gonna be able to drink a beer with Maddie. Like it's I'm excited, man. Like good times are coming. Good times are coming. I'm happy. And eventually I'll get to meet Cuz in person as well.
Oh, definitely. You'll meet me. You'll meet me. It's not a problem. Not a problem. It'll happen. It will happen.
It will.
It might be 20. It might be like from 20 years from now, but it will definitely happen, mate. It definitely happen. Arteta might have won the Premier League by then.
So you're telling me it's going to be next year? Okay.
Yeah. All right then. Yeah. Next year. Yeah. Right. Anfield Uncle Ross. I don't know if I've ever. Have you seen him in the comments before? I haven't.
In the, I don't think it's the first
Uncle
time.
Ross.
But anyway, thank you for
But
being here,
anyway,
man.
thank you for joining us and
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah.
tuning in. And obviously like, subscribe, and that. But no, thank you. Obviously put your comment in, Uncle Ross. Listen, even if you agree with me, I mean, don't agree with it for Christ's sake. Whatever you do, Right. That's a joke, Morley. Just, whatever it is. 1993, we won the League Cup and the FA Cup, Domestic Cup, and we finished 12 in the league under George Graham. Were fans moaning about our league finish? No, they wasn't, because we won 2 trophies. Well, on this one, I can actually comment on this one. In 93, yes, we did. We won the League Cup and the FA Cup. Right. This was where Tony Adams, our captain, he broke his arm after the game. He fell off a steep. He jumped on the Arsenal player's back, which a guy called Steve Morrow, and he fell off and broke his arm. Right. So that's the fact. The season where we finished 12 was 95. I can tell you, Man United were disappointed because they didn't win the league. It was Blackburn Rovers that won the league that season with Alan Shearer and Sutton up front. So I remember that. That was the year, 95. That was the year that I left school in 95. I know, I'm a young whippersnapper,
You old fart.
Yeah.
The key factor there, it's 30 years ago. Like a lot changed. Like the competitions and the importance of each competition, like the focus. It's a different beast now. It's a different beast. Back in the 90s, the state competitions in Brazil were crucial. Like people loved it. It was so important for the entire century. Last century, it was so big, but now people don't really care. Like it changes. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
No, but it's like what you brought up as well, Maureen. He said AFC always goes on and says this was a cup competition. I always wanted us to win. 31 years ago. Well, we haven't won it for 31 years. So yeah, no, he is right. It would be nice. To be honest with you, whoever goes into the Carabao Cup and they win it, do you know they only get 250k for winning that trophy? Seriously. They don't even pick up 500,000, but it's silverware. There's 2 ways of looking at this. People say it's a trophy, it's silverware, it goes in the cabinet, fine. But on the other hand, you don't even get 500,000 for it, for winning the Carabao Cup. But it is what it is. But you pick up more money for obviously TV rights and gate receipts, and all this and that and the other. So you do pick up more money than just the under the 500,000 what you win for the trophy.
Cool. So you can pay 1 week of Saka's wages. Sure.
1 week of Saka's wages. Eddie Nketiah's wages. Right. We need to reach the semi-final or the final in the Champions League, but we won't. Let's be real. No, I don't think we will. I don't think we will. I'm just saying I'm agreeing with Marley. I think minimum in the champion. If we get to the quarterfinals, I'll be happy. I'm not expecting to win the Champions League personally myself. Other fans want to win it. Yeah, I want Arsenal to win it. It'd be brilliant. It'd be fantastic. But the minute for the players we've got and the manager we have, winning 1 trophy in 4.5 years, no, I can't see it happening. I cannot see it at all. Matt's laughing. I think he knows what that golden ticket is. I think that golden ticket, he's coming over to Brazil to give you a golden shower, mate. That's what it is.
Don't drop the level. Come on, we're trying here. We're trying. Like we let out a couple of curse words, but you don't need to go that. Come on. Golden stuff. No. Yeah, let's move on.
Right. Ansi, why hasn't George Graham got a statue outside the Emirates Stadium? He's been our best manager. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I totally agree with you. I think George Graham should have a statue outside the Emirates. But unfortunately, when he was sacked in the 94-95 season, it was something he did. I'm not too sure what it was, but it wasn't right. That's for what he did. That's the reason why he didn't get a statue, not even a miniature statue in the obviously inside the stadium. He didn't get it. It wasn't. It was something that he got caught for. He knew he was going to get caught for. It was something to do with. It was football related. That was all. It wasn't anything nasty or anything like that. It was football related, which shouldn't have been done with
Like a
football. Related.
betting
If
scandal or
anybody,
something like that.
sorry.
Like a betting scandal or something like that.
No, it could have been. It might not have been. I totally forgot. It's gone out my head. But if anybody knows, put it in the comments. And then he goes on to say Port Vale have gone further than us in this year's in the League Cup. Yeah, they have.
They've gone longer than City too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt, he's laughing. So there you go. He's laughing to what I most probably what you said or what I've said. Right. Let's go on to the next one.
I want to go back to this.
Yeah, you wanted to add
this Arteta hatred, guys. Like like I'm not against calling out when he makes mistakes, and I'm all for that. He this season there's a lot of points where I'm like, yeah, I don't get the Havertz thing. Like there's a couple of stuff. I don't disagree with not giving too much importance on the Carabao Cup. I don't like. I'm sorry, like this could be my foreigner bias, right? Like I'm Brazilian, I couldn't give two craps about the Carabao Cup. If we win or lose, it's indifferent to me. Like I care more about the Community Shield that we just won than the Carabao Cup. This is me being honest. If you think that's silly, that's fair enough. But the thing about like wanting Arteta out if we don't win like major silverware or already wanting him out now, I feel like it's very short-sighted, it's very narrow-minded. It's who do people want to replace him? Because right now, and I came prepared because I knew that you were gonna bitch at Arteta, because I know you, I know my family, right? So I pulled up some numbers. So let me just ask you this: like top 5 leagues in the world, right? Like France, England, Germany, Italy, and Spain. How many clubs do you feel like did better, like just got more points than Arsenal in the past 2 seasons? Just like start of 2022 till now. How many teams?
They'll finish on higher points than what Arsenal did last season.
Yeah, finish on. I don't even want to say higher points because there's less teams in Germany, for example. So just like higher percentage, right? Like they did better than Arsenal overall.
Okay.
Like in their leagues. How many?
I can most probably pick two from the German league. I would most probably say Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. But then again, you might tell me I'm wrong. Did you see the Italian league?
Yeah, all top 5. So Italy, Germany, England, France, and Spain.
Okay. Well, England, obviously, it was Man City, so we all knew that. With Italy, oh, who won it?
Napoli won. They did fantastic.
Napoli won. Yeah. So Napoli, second. Was it Inter Milan that finished second?
I think it was, but I'm not sure. It might have been Lazio as well.
It wasn't AC. It wasn't AC Milan. I know that. So I think it was Inter. So I'll say Napoli and Inter. So that's what's that? That's the English one we've done because Man City, the German, the Italian, Spain regarding obviously Real Madrid.
Okay, go ahead.
And
Barcelona won the league, by the way, last season.
Barcelona, Real Madrid. It most probably wasn't. You most probably say it was Atletico Madrid, but yeah, and
And in France,
in France, obviously, PSG. Oh, who am I going to say in France? Don't think it was Monaco.
no, second place team last season was Lens, the team that
Lens.
just beat us, actually. Yeah.
Lens. Yeah, yeah. So it most probably would have been them then.
Okay.
Lens.
Okay, fair enough. You pointed out like 10 teams, and I don't even like. It's fair that you pointed out because you follow the Prem more than any other league, and that's
Yeah,
fair. I don't follow the other leagues too much either. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of people that want Arteta gone don't know who the replacement should be, and don't follow the football that we'd be looking at to replace him. Because truthfully, if you're looking at beginning of 2022-2023 season till now,
yeah,
league wise, the only teams that scored higher than Arsenal, that got a higher percentage, are City and Barcelona. They're the only two. They're the
yeah.
only two. So you're looking at Pep Guardiola. He's never going to manage Arsenal. Forget about
No.
that. And Barcelona, like, you can't even prove that Xavi is better than Arteta because La Liga is a good league, but it's a joke compared to the Premier League. And
Yeah.
like, it's a restructuring era for Real Madrid.
What's he won?
Like,
What's he
Bar-
won? What's he won since he's been the manager of Barcelona?
La
What is he
Liga.
won?
He's won La Liga. So maybe if you prefer Xavi, but he's a legend. He's one of the best midfielders in the history of Barcelona. He's managing Barcelona. So we're not
Yeah,
getting Xavi. So along with by the way, so Man City got 113 from 144 possible points in this time.
yeah.
And that's 78.47%. Barcelona's at 76.19. Arsenal and Napoli are at 75. And by the way, this season we're at 80 so far. So it's not like we dropped that much. And then you
No.
have, like PSG at 73.61 in France, playing in Ligue 1. That's how
Yeah,
PSG did. Bayern playing in Bundesliga, which we know is a one-horse race. They
yeah,
were at 72.87%. Real Madrid, biggest team in the world. Carlo Ancelotti, one of the best managers in the world, right? 72.11%. He's won everything in his career, but that's how he's been doing for the past 16 months or so. I put Chelsea here just so that it's a joke. It's 38.89%. That's
yeah,
how they've been doing. Spurs at 59.72, Newcastle at 61.11, Liverpool and United at 62.5, Inter at 67.36. My point is, sure, Arteta is not perfect. As Arsenal fans who has seen Arsenal do great in the past, we want us to do better than we're doing right now. But if you look at football, everyone that you look to replace Arteta would be a huge gamble, like a De Zerbi. Maybe De Zerbi is better than Arteta. Maybe, but that's a risk, right? Look at what happened when Chelsea tried to get the Brighton manager. Look how that turned out.
but he
So
wasn't an elite
people,
manager. He was a good manager for the standards of Brighton, but he wasn't going to be the standards of Chelsea. I don't
yeah,
even
but
know why Chelsea went for him.
it's
That
always going to
season
be a
when we
risk, Buzz.
signed, yeah, but do you know that season when Arteta signed for us?
Yeah.
It should have been the other way round because that was the only two managers. Was Arteta, I think personally, should have went to Everton, and we should have had Carlo Ancelotti because he only stayed for Everton for one season. We should have had him. Arsenal should have put him as manager, but obviously Arsenal didn't act and didn't want to go down that route. They wanted to go down Arteta's route, obviously being the second one, like Pep's number two, which he was. Pep's number two, but I don't know what they were thinking. The board, were they thinking of appointing Arteta maybe for the long run in the near future?
For
I
sure.
don't know.
I feel like that's why, because Carlo Ancelotti, from age alone, from profile, right? Like Carlo Ancelotti is not one of those guys that stays like 6 years in a club. So
Yeah,
he's that guy he's not short term manager, but he's a medium term manager, right? Like,
yeah. But
and
Arteta did state he
Arteta,
wanted to leave. He wanted to leave Arsenal last season. He come out and said that.
he might have at some point. When did he say that?
I think I'll tell you something now. That was it. The beginning part of this season. I think he actually let the cat out the bag. The saying is, last season he was thinking of jacking it in.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. If you're telling me,
Yeah,
I believe you. I believe that at least like you read that. I can't see Arteta saying that, but anyway, uh, I look at what I just read to you. So that like if
yeah,
you like most people, like I feel like the biggest name in the biggest like in the noisiest of the Arteta out movement, right? Like I feel like the manager that was the most named, like you remember, right? It was Ten Hag. People wanted Ten Hag. Is I know that it's like things are toxic at Man United right now. I know that. I know that it's not only about the manager, it's not only about the players, but anyway, is United that much worse than Arsenal? Like you look at the players they have, should they be this less competitive than we are?
mm,
No. It means Arteta's doing a better job than him. It does. In the present, right? Like if you don't look too far in the present, Arteta is doing better than most managers. Like for a long time, Arsenal has been, for a long time, I mean like almost 2 years now, Arsenal has been one of the top three, top five best teams in the world, performance wise. We haven't won the league, sure. Man City is the best team in the world. They're competing with us.
yeah,
Like if we were playing in Germany or in Spain, like I feel like Arsenal last season would have easily won La Liga, but like jokingly easy, so easy. Like it would have been easy. The Ligue 1, Ligue 1, the French league, easily. Maybe the Italian league, we wouldn't have beat Napoli because they did really, really well. But Napoli and Man City were the only teams that did better than us last season. The only teams.
yeah,
Other than that, Arsenal was top dog, and Arteta, maybe another guy could have done just as well. But Arteta is the guy that took us from that football that we were playing under Emery to where we are now. And I'm not saying he's God's gift to earth. He's not the next coming of Jesus or anything like that. He's doing he's doing better than I expected him to be doing at this point. And I don't see anyone that I can, like bang my chest and say this guy's gonna do a better job than Arteta. I don't see
yeah,
anyone that way. Like I feel like most people that we brought in would at the very least take a long time to do as well as he does. Because even Klopp, who's undoubtedly a better manager than Arteta, has been struggling for a couple of seasons now, more than
yeah,
Arteta has, with a team that I would argue is older but better.
yeah.
So
True.
like that's it. Like I just feel like it's short sighted. I'm not asking people to love Arteta and start cheering him on like he was, like the best manager, better than Graham or Wenger. No, he's got to accomplish a lot before being called a great. But right now, I don't see any evidence that there's a lot of managers better than him or anyone we
No,
can get.
no,
That's
no.
that's why I've never called for him to be sacked.
No. Well, he's out of the Italy team. I don't know whether he's gone over Dubai, but the one that I wanted when Italy sacked him was Roberto Mancini. Because he's obviously done it for Man City, done it for Inter Milan when he was managing them. He's obviously won the Euros with Italy as well because they beat us, they beat England in the final. So what goes on with a good manager is a CV. If a manager can place a CV in front of me, if I was an owner of a football club and I had a decent manager, that the CV stood out for me, and I'll say, yeah, right, you're the man that can take this team forward to the next step. That's my opinion. Obviously, debating whether Arsenal got the money for these sort of managers. I mean, like Mourinho. When Mourinho was in the Premier League last, he was on 15 million a season in wages. I mean, the players now get paid more than the manager, which some people might find that wrong. Which some people might find, well, that the times have changed. But that's what it is. But listen, I'm just going to go through a few comments, and then we're
Yeah,
going to go back to Newcastle.
sure.
The Newcastle game. 7 votes in
I guess
so
can
far.
I just very quickly, just because I feel like you're gonna see what I'm actually about to say, actually, because one obvious manager that's really good and technically he's at a team that's worse than ours is Simeone, right, from Atletico. But same thing as Mancini. Can you imagine the amount of time that would take a manager to turn this Arsenal side into a competitive defensive team?
I know.
Because Arsenal does have a good defense, but we play so attackingly. So if you want someone, sure, they have a CV nowadays, mate. Sure, like the best manager in the world is also the most successful right now, right, Pep? But like there's a lot of up and coming managers, man, because it's becoming more like it's faster, it's growing faster. That's why people that are kind of younger are doing better because you have to be more adaptable to change. So I feel like this, you're seeing a lot of huge, some of the best and biggest managers in the history of the game, like Carlo Ancelotti, like Mourinho, like these guys kind of run out of fashion. Like they're kind of like they're past it. Like football's kind of surpassing these guys. They still have a purpose, but they're not the
Yeah.
big dog they used to be.
Yeah. But it's like
I,
what I said with Roberto Mancini. I did mention earlier, I don't know if he's gone over Saudi. I did mention Saudi, didn't I? I said I think he may
yeah,
have gone over there managing a team. I don't know. But it's
perhaps.
like what I said, if he has, he has. But that's the
Yeah.
sort of managers that, I would like at my club. I think I suppose Man United fans would, or let's be honest. So 7 votes are in so far. Newcastle on 57%, Arsenal 43. I would like to see how this poll finished off. Most probably Newcastle may have won it on 10 votes. Hang on a second, I've missed one. The FC always said, Anthony, thoughts on ESR injured again? Yeah, unlucky. Smith Rowe, do you know what? I like Smith Rowe. I do rate him. I would like to see him in the team even more. I really do. But I've got to be honest with you. In my opinion, I think this guy is the most unluckiest guy in this Arsenal team at the minute through injuries and obviously not playing. So I just hope he gets a speedy recovery in that. If we are to get rid of him, I don't know. It's going to be one or two things for me: either loan him out, or if he's fit in January, I think Unai Emery was after him. We could do a swap deal with Douglas Luiz, maybe
Oh, that's that could make sense.
as
Actually, that
cash.
could make sense. Plus cash, yeah, plus cash.
Yeah. So that might be
Because
good.
how many times have I told you already, like that I love ESR? Like I think
Yeah.
he's a good player that could still improve, but he needs to get the hell out of the Prem.
Yeah.
Physically, I know he's English, and it's funny to say this, but physically, he needs to go somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
he's not up for it. He's not.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Gracie, the number 9 from Stuttgart? I believe he scored 14 goals in 8 games. Yes, he has scored a lot of goals. Yeah, I'll be up for that, a player like that. But how much are we going to... Trouble is, though, is January transfer window. We don't really spend a lot of money in the January transfer window, do we? The most we've ever spent in January, believe it or not, was on Aubameyang. Was 65 million. That was
Yeah,
the dearest. Yeah, yeah, in
and it makes
January.
sense, and it makes sense too. But cause it's just last stream or the stream before, I was saying that we needed like my priority would be a striker. But now I've come to terms that there's no way we're buying a striker in January because think about the fact that sure, Gabriel Jesus is injured. He's coming back in January. So
Yeah,
why would you buy a striker
I
then,
can't
right?
see
Like
it. I can't see it.
unless we're trying to upgrade on Nketiah now, and I just don't see that happening either. So I feel like if we do any business, it's either gonna be on the right wing or maybe more likely than that because someone that has like a huge, maybe the biggest injury
Yeah,
problem in the Arsenal squad when you're talking about important players, Thomas Partey, man. He can't stay fit. So I
no,
think
he's
Arsenal
injury
might,
prone. I can
yeah.
see him going. I can see him go. If he goes, I don't.
I want him to go by now.
If
I
if,
really
if
do.
he goes, I don't think I'll be that worried. He's not a player
No.
that I feel like, oh no, we sold him. He should have stuck around this, that, and the other. I mean, he's 31 next season. Part he's already 30. He's past his prime. He's too injury prone. If we got a decent wedge for him, like money, just sell him. I mean, even if we get around about 25 million for him, 30 maybe. Yeah, I would just let him go.
It,
Anyway, Matt turns around and says,
Arsenal, listen to me. Sell
yeah,
Partey for 30, buy Andre for 40, and Arsenal's gonna have the best midfield in England for like 6, 7 straight years. Just listen to me once. Just once by the player I'm asking.
Is it Fred, the one that plays with your team, Fluminense? Is it Fred the striker?
No, Fred. No, Fred retired.
Oh, he retired, did he? There's one Brazilian.
The striker scores a lot of goals. He's Argentinian, actually, Cano, but he's 35.
Oh, is he? Which Fred is it? He's a 28-year-old. He's Brazil. I think he is Brazilian Fred, but he scored about. I think Arsenal were interested in him. I swear he plays in your league. Maybe I could be wrong.
You are.
All I know his name's Fred. He's Brazilian. He's scored quite a few goals. He's 20. He's 28. He's not the Fred from Man United. He's not that Fred. But
no, Arsenal's not looking at any 28-year-olds in the Brasileirão, mate. No, no, you misread something there.
I knew he was Fred, right?
He was 23. He was the last player that Arsenal was linked with, I think.
Yeah. So Matt goes on to say, 10 away from 900 subs. Thank you for so much for all the kind support. Thank you all much. Anybody that hasn't subscribe. I mean, obviously, we're 900 is a good start. Then we're trying to we want to get to the 1K, but we don't want to rush it. So we just gradually, we want to get there, obviously, but we want to do it in mile steps. So, but thanks for everybody that subscribed. That's a big shout. I think obviously it's down to me, and they like seeing this handsome bugger. Shut up, Marty. Right, and
I haven't said a word.
I knew you'll come out with some up, cuz.
You're a gorgeous man, cuz.
Cheers, mate. It runs. It does. Runs in the family, mate. Runs in the family. What can we say?
Exactly.
Let's get this. AFC always says, let's get this 900 subscribers before the stream ends. If it can be done. Hopefully it can be done, because Marty's going to be staying on here for another 3 hours until we've actually done it. AFC TV, Matt says, thank you, mate. And always, big up to yourself as well. AFC always. I tell you what, I don't know if you're on any social media or if you're following me on Instagram or whatever, but I tell you what, you're in the comments quite a lot, and obviously respect to you, obviously to yourself and watching the show and putting the comments in, which is great. Listen, if you want to message me one day, or you find me on Instagram, or Twitter, message me. If you want to come on the show, mate, even for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, mate. If you're up for it, I'll have you on. Me and Cuz. And Matt,
I have a secret theory that you guys are the same person, so it's gonna prove me wrong. That'd be cool.
No,
you guys agree with each other, so I'm kidding. I know that I know that you're not fast enough to be here and type a comment at the same time. That would drive you insane.
Right. Let's go on to the Newcastle preview. We're an hour and 23 minutes in, and Matt's messaged me saying, "And do me a favor, shut Marty up and get on with the show." No, I mean, you didn't say that.
I could see him doing that. I could.
He hasn't said it, but it might come up in the comments. Actually, he might do it in the comments for that. Right, Arsenal versus Newcastle, the preview. Right, because we got Newcastle at St James's Park. Personally, I think it's not going to be a walk in the park. I think it's going to be a really hard game for us. I really do. I'm worried about us playing in the game. It's to us, it's squeaky bum time, But I feel I just want us to play well. I just want us to win and get 3 points. What's your quick summary on the game?
I agree with you. It's not going to be a walk in the park whatsoever. I feel like it's going to be a battle in the park. It's as I said not too long ago, it's definitely one of the, well, maybe not 3, but one of the 4 hardest games of the season, of the Premier League season, is to go away to Newcastle right now. They have a solid team that's run by a solid manager that knows exactly what he's doing right there. They have one of my favorite midfielders in the world, Bruno Guimarães. I would have loved Arsenal to get back when he was bought by Newcastle. Great piece of business.
I pointed at it, so I didn't miss it. That is, I'm sorry. I'm putting him to shame. If he actually goes back, if he pushes that red line underneath, if he's watching, if he pushes it back, he says you skip past my comment. I read it and I went, oh, Saudi, yeah. I went like so he knows. Big up sweet cheeks, by the way. Right, yeah, go on then.
But yeah, I mean they did just lose Tonali. I don't feel like it's gonna have great effect on this game because he was still like, he wasn't playing poorly, not to my knowledge. I haven't watched every single Newcastle game, but he's someone that was still gelling into the team. It's not like Declan Rice, who looks to have played for Arsenal for 2 or 3 seasons already. But dangerous side, man. They have like good goal scoring players. They have a solid defense. They have a solid goalkeeper, who's like on the opposing conversation of Arsenal's keepers, were like good keepers, but like they don't necessarily shine at keeping that much. Like, their goalkeepers very much so. Like he's good at saving the ball. So traditional goalkeeper, so to say.
Yeah,
And yeah, man, dangerous game, dangerous game. You look at it like, sure, right now, like we're fighting point for point against Spurs and City, so it's tough to say that not getting a win is a good result. But I'm not gonna cry if we draw this game, right? Like it's not a horrible result. I feel like most teams that go to Newcastle are gonna drop points. So if you just drop 2 instead of 3, I'll be
yeah.
okay with that. We can win. We All that being said, we have a better team than them, in my
We have a
opinion.
better
We
team than
also,
them on paper. We do. I
yeah,
completely agree with that.
in
I
my
don't know
opinion,
if
we also have a better manager. So I think we can win, but
Eddie.
I think
No. I got. Do you know what? I do rate Eddie Howe. If Arteta was to be sacked, I most probably want Eddie Howe in because we go. You mentioned about these managers now, and sometimes even though they're like in their 60s and football is changed now. Obviously, they're there on merit. They're there doing a job sort of thing, but times have gone on, and what you're saying, from what I've gathered, what you said, football was played differently when they first started being management, like coming into management up until the present now. So, I get that, I really do. But yeah, I feel that Eddie Howe is a really good manager.
how is a
Um,
good shout. Good shout. I don't
he's
know
yeah.
why he would leave Newcastle for Arsenal right
He's got
now,
the
though.
money though now, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's really got the money now.
yeah.
I'm just gonna click on because we got two more. But we can. It's to do with the Newcastle game. Listen, it's like what I said. Starting 11. What would be your starting 11 against Newcastle?
Who do I put in goalkeeper right now? Like is Hein fit? Like what's going on there? Like
Run
we're
it.
struggling. We're Let's bring him back.
Yeah,
We're struggling at the moment, the goalkeeper position, my man. We're struggling. I'm gonna say Raya just because I feel like he's the better keeper overall. Um, I'd go with well the obvious. I'd go with White, Saliba, G-Mag, and I'd go with Tomiyasu. I want to give Zinchenko a break. I also feel like this is not a team. This is not a game we can mess around in. So yeah,
yeah,
let's get a solid back four there. Tomiyasu is actually playing, like learning quite fast how to do a bit of that inverted thing
yeah.
without being so big of a liability in the back, right?
We don't want no inverted. We don't want no inverted shit crap. We don't want no inverted at all.
Don't
No,
be anti-future, cousin.
no,
Let
no.
the
I
future
want
happen.
inverted.
Let the future happen. Okay, Declan Rice, obviously.
Yeah,
This is a game where I want two DMs, so Declan Rice and Jorginho. I don't wanna go with two cams there. I'd bring back Odegaard. Um, Unlike some people have been saying, I feel like Vieira's had a good season this season. Like he's been playing well. He played really poorly against West Ham, but he's been playing well. He's coming
yeah,
well when he's coming off the bench, so I don't
yeah.
hate on him. But Odegaard is our captain. I want him to be back in the
Yeah.
lineup. And then, mate, Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah. Like it has to be
So
Nketiah
that's
there.
are you going for you going 4-3-3
Yeah,
pretty much? Yeah. Okay. Right. Marty's going 4-3-3. Do you know what? I just want to try it. Is Thomas Partey injured still?
yeah. Dude, Thomas Partey is injured until like January or February. Forget about Partey.
Fucking hell. Wank state.
At the very least, December. I could be speaking out of terms, but I think he's gonna be out for longer than Jesus.
No, pissing out.
I really want him sold, man. I don't know who would pay
I
money
do, but
for him right now, but
I
I want
just
him
think
sold.
who are we going to put there? See, trouble is though, what I wanted to do, I wanted to go a 4-2-3-1. I just want to just try something different, right? Like
Which
we
is
did.
basically what I went with, because
Yeah, but
four two
it's
three one 4-3-3, depending on possession or
yeah.
not, like it's basically the same thing.
All right, I'll go with Ray and goal. I don't like that option. He better not throw the ball out in fucking
Yeah.
Callum Wilson scores. You know, that sort of thing. He's going to get caught out one day doing that. All right, so I'm going to go Ray and goal. I'll go Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Tommy Yasu. I totally agree with that. Zenny's not getting in. Actually, I'll tell you what. We could play Shevchenko,
You're
couldn't
gonna
we?
put him in midfield.
I'm gonna play Declan Rice and Shevchenko, yeah, there. And then the three,
Creative.
I'm gonna play Martinelli. I'm gonna play Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard with who do I play up front? Do I pick Eddie Nketiah? Yeah, I'll give Eddie Nketiah a go in the first half. If he's dog shit, which I think he is going to play absolute rubbish, I'll replace him and I'll just have to bring on Trossard on the second half. We just let Trossard do a job there, maybe. So yeah, so that'd be my team. That'd be my starting lineup. And last but not least, the score predictions, Mark.
Woo.
What do you reckon?
Jesus. Okay. You know what, mate?
Do you want me to go first?
You go ahead.
Okay, then. I can't see. I want to be optimistic here. I can't see Arsenal losing it. I just want to say that because obviously you've got to support your own. I can't see Arsenal losing it. I want them to win it 2-1. I think 2-1 Arsenal. But that's what my heart's telling me. But my head's telling me a 2-2 draw. So I can only go. If I was to go for, do you know what? I'm going to pick a 2-2 draw. I'll pick a 2-2 draw. I'll pick a 2-2 draw. I want to win 2-1, but the way we are at the minute again, and Newcastle is a really strong team, and they're at home. You know they got home advantage. I know, and their home form is much better than their away form. Newcastle's this season, but even though they've been doing good away, but their last couple of games the games that they've lost and they've drawn a couple has been away, but apparently they've won about 95% of their home games so far. So hopefully Arsenal can finish that record, but if not, 2-2. I'll be happy with 2-2.
I find it so funny that most people here, like, they feel the need to say, "I want us to win." Yes, you're an Arsenal fan. Like that's what we expect of you, to want Arsenal to win. You know what, mate? Which is actually a really good thing. Like, this stream got me distracted from the final of the Libertadores that I'm gonna be attending on Saturday, so I had forgotten about that. I kind of made a deal with the universe that I don't want any football to matter outside of that this weekend. So I kind of I don't even want to predict an Arsenal win. I'm kind of the opposite of you, my man. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Arsenal will win. Like, my head is telling me that Arsenal will just scrape by, like 2-1, maybe 1-0, something like that. But just because I want the entirety of footballing luck to be on Fluminense's side, I'm gonna predict a 1-0, and I'll be
1-1.
happy with that. 1-0, and I'll be okay with that.
1-1.
I'll be okay with that.
Right. Okay. Well, I was going to say that is the end of the show, but before we actually go, I am going to go because I give Matt a bollocking. Yeah. Well, not a bollocking, but I told him. So this is what. Oh, hang on. This is what this is here. Is GalaxioKits.com. This is the company that we're sponsored by. Who does a wide range of football kits. Good stuff. Very authentic. Good for prices. Maury, bring up the I know that's Newcastle. Should we bring it? What are the Arsenal ones like? We haven't seen any of the Arsenal ones, have we?
We have, like, in the past, yes, but let me pull them up now.
Okay.
I wanted to show Newcastle as well because I felt the
We've got
catalog was really cool.
Yeah, we
But
you know.
we have some really cool kits of Arsenal as well. This one makes me think of, I don't know, who do you think of when you look at this yellow kit here? Who's the first player that comes to mind?
Hang on, I can't see it. We can't see a yellow kit.
Oh no?
No.
Oh, you should. On the right.
Oh, on the right. Yeah, sorry. The one on the right, that yellow kit. What player comes to mind?
Yeah.
Don't know, Giroud.
I think Giroud was playing. Makes me think of
Yeah.
Sanchez, but maybe he left that season too. Like I don't know. Now I'm confused. But yeah, yellow kits always make me think of Monreal and Sanchez for some reason. Maybe Welbeck. But yeah, really cool catalog of Arsenal kits. You literally like you can find stuff from like lower divisions in like very remote countries that you don't expect to see a lot of football from, but really cool kits that you can find. And if you go to the last Fita show we did about 2 Sundays ago, you can find a 15% off promo that you can use. Everything they have is authentic. They sell worldwide, and these prices that you're looking at right now, you're looking at reais. That's my currency in Brazil. So divide that more or less by 6. So make do the math. It's a really good price. And you can also get 15% off that. You're going to be helping us if you use the promo. You're going to be helping your friends there. So yeah, big them up. And thank you for reminding me, because I almost missed out this time.
No, that's all right, cuz yeah, no, I mean the prices are really good. Obviously, when
Yeah.
you said do the maths in that, I mean, obviously, if you bought up Chelsea or Man United, I mean, Chelsea, I think what's that, £2.50, and then Man United is £3. You know, you should get
Yeah. They're
same.
considering paying people to take the Chelsea stuff just because no one wants to buy them anymore and it's gathering space. I
Oh,
kid.
yeah,
I
we
kid.
could
You
we could give
you can
away a
buy.
Chelsea top for the Christmas season, could we?
Don't put that. They have good Chelsea stuff and you can buy it
Yeah,
for good
we
money.
do. We do. We're only joke. We love joking against other Chelsea fans, the Man United fans or whatever. Because even though it's a Man United show, well, Man United it is, isn't it? Really, it's a Man United show with an Arsenal stream in it. So it's all good. Just quickly to the comments, Jordan, my man, big up. Big up to yourself. And also he goes on. He says 4-2 Arsenal. 4-2 Arsenal win.
I always think rivals are jinxing us. I always feel that way.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna moan about it, cuz I'm definitely not gonna moan about it. No, definitely not. Right, so that's it. We've come to the end of the show. Thank you everybody for just hate that. Do you know what that is, Mark? That is one slip of the finger. That is terrible. Keep it
happens.
Keep it clean. It was. I was actually trying to find out and get myself ready for the outro, but yeah. So I tell you what, everybody, big up. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and have a good weekend. We're off. Come on, you Arsenal.